Alright, so I couldn't find any CV boot replacement videos on this model, or like the newer video for the 2012 Volkswagens. I'll put up a little caption right now. Like, I couldn't find any CV boot replacement videos on this model, or like the newer video for the 2012 Volkswagens. I'll put up a little caption right now, like what all models it works on. But pretty much, like I had issues when I was turning my wheel to the right side, like all the way right, and I was going up to speed. I heard like this clicking / knocking noise. And when I jacked up the wheel, I noticed the lower ball, the tie rod end, and the ball CV boot and the stabilizer link boot is all cracked. So I'm guessing it was probably the tie rod end, the outer tie rod end, because it seems more like it. Because when I'm turning, it's only when I'm turning, not when I'm going straight. And yeah, so I decided when I lifted it up, I noticed the CV boot, so I was like, might as well just replace it. But I just want to go a quick overview of what's all needed to replace the CV boot. So for the CV boot, I currently have a Volkswagen, or the OEM one on, that I found, which is about 50 bucks, just for the outer, and it comes with 2 clamps. It doesn't come with the grease, but it also comes with the C-clamp. The reason I went with OEM is when I tried to buy it from Beck and Arnley, when I looked up their part numbers, it didn't fit. Okay, so I have it right here. So this is the outer one from Beck and Arnley. So look at the size comparison. This is so much wider. This is, I want to say, 4 inches wide. This side, this mount is 4 inches wide, but compared to this one is 3.5. I think it was 4 1/4 on Beck and Arnley. And this one is 3.5, and the fold is much more. I think there's an extra fold, if you can see there. And it doesn't come with the correct C-clips. So this one, Beck and Arnley, comes with this bigger one. It doesn't fit that one. It just kind of hangs there, and you can just touch it and it kind of falls off. So it's not the right C-clip. So I had to go with the OEM. I tried ordering the inner one, hoping that it would work, but I couldn't get it in time. I think the inner one's gonna come tomorrow, where I had to order it 2 days ahead. But I could have just, I just picked this up, I just walked in on the same day, and then I got it from the Volkswagen dealership. But yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind. OEM is the correct fit compared to the Beck and Arnley. The number, I'll put up the number. It does not fit. The first step before you jack up the vehicle and what to do is break this nut that goes in here. Break that nut free, and then loosen it up, and then jack the wheel up. Because if you do it while the wheel is jacked up, you can't. It's way too hard. So lower the wheels and then just crack it loose, and then loosen it up, and then jack the wheel up. This car, it's really simple to do the CV bolt. I was thinking that I was gonna go through a lot of process compared to other cars, but it's not. All you have to do is disconnect the lower ball joint. There's three nuts that goes in here. This goes on top of here, and then the nut goes right here. Just loosen those 3 up, and then the tie rod end, just loosen it up. I would say if you have an old vehicle, you might as well just change the outer tie rod end, because why not? Just get that out of the way so it doesn't fail on you later. It's prone to failure after a long time. This car has been 12 years old. This car is 10 years old, and you know, I know all these stuff are gonna fail in the future. So I have lower ball joint, stabilizer link, I just changed the outer tie rod end. I got the other side coming in, so it's just a preventative maintenance to do. And then after you lose that up, all you have to do is just press down on this lower control arm, and then you can just kind of pry this up and then move it out of the way. And then as you're doing it, push in here. After you're losing the bolt up, you should be able to get the CV, this axle loose, and then you can just push it in with your finger. You should push this part in with your finger, and it should just come right off as you turn in. And to get this off, to get the boot clamp off, just drive a flathead. This is my new one. I haven't crimped it down yet. drive a flathead right in there. Drive a flathead right in that hole and then just kind of pry it. You know, you don't need it, so just break it loose because you're not going to reuse anything. So just crack it with your needle nose pliers or something like wire cutters or anything like that. Just crack it loose, and this should just pop off. So in order to get this thing off, you have to get this axle nut or whatever this is called back in here, and then you have to screw it in all the way. So what that does is help it pushes it out. So as you screw in, when you're getting closer to like the edge, so you have to go this far, and then you're gonna feel it get tight, and then you got to go in this far, and then it's gonna get tight again. And what that does is it bad? Hopefully it's not bad. But what that does is kind of pushes this axle or the CV joint out, and then you should be able to just pry it off. Don't try to pull it out. I'm not too sure about the CV joint over there, but usually when you pull it out, the CV joint, the inner CV joint, or that joint over there is prone to slipping out, and it's hard to put it back in with the CV boot in. It's gonna be a whole nother hassle. So don't tug it. Hold your hand over here, like push pressure that way, and then tug it. So after you get that off, they say to clean off. They say clean it with the brake cleaner. Some say clean it with brake cleaner. Some say don't clean it with brake cleaners. According to the Beck and Arley paper over there, they say clean it with warm soapy water. I tried to do it with warm soapy water. It's not. The grease is so thick, it does not clean out everything. Like, you will get some of it out, but it's not all of it's gonna go out. So I would say using tissue papers and rags a lot. You just gotta scrub it, you just gotta move the joints around and then clean it off again. I have no clue how to like super clean it. Supposedly you're supposed to super clean it. I haven't. I cleaned it the best way I could, and you know, I just put new grease in there, and then hopefully it should go fine. But yeah, the process to going it back in is there's these clips. So after you get the CV or the CV joint out, or this axle piece out, there's these clips, or there's these washers / spacers, and it goes in like this. So if it focuses on here, so there's two pieces to it, and if I can separate it, so this piece sits like this towards the wheel, and this piece, like, there's an indentation to it. Like, there's a, I'm out of focus. I don't think it's gonna pick up, but it's the middle part is see, the middle part is has a little bit of a angle to it, so that part faces that way, so it goes like this. That's not going on. No. It's not supposed to go on because this one comes off and it goes in there, but it sits like that pretty much. And then there's also a C-clip. I think mine's like all the way on the other side of the corner because it just flew out. So C-clip, the best way to get the C-clip out, it's like a small screwdriver, small flathead or something that you can get in there, and you just pry it up and then just kind of wiggle it, and it'll just fly off. And so just watch out for that. And then my OEM came with these new washers, so I just greased them up, put them back in, and then new C-clips, put them back in, and then just installed it with this axle nut. Just put it back in. So how you install it, you gotta screw it in lightly, and then just make sure that the CV or that joint inside there, it kind of spools. So make sure it's lined in there, and then just start hammering it in. So as you hammer it in, it'll just drive in through those splines. There's splines like these on the inside, so it's just aligning it and then just driving it in, and then make sure it goes as far as it goes, and it touches the washers. So make sure you can't move the washers around. Before you do that, make sure you put the small boot clamp in there, and then you put the boot on there, and then you put the larger clamp on there. Mine came off while I was hammering it in, and I just kind of threw it away. Threw it to the side. So you just hammer it in, and and yeah, and it should just go back in, and it should be the verge process. Just after, I don't have the crimp tool with me to tighten these down, so I gotta wait till tomorrow because it's nighttime to get it from Home Depot or Harbor Freight. I think Harbor Freight is a little bit cheaper if I'm not wrong. I saw one somewhere on my, it should be on my browser somewhere, but yeah, I'm waiting for that to get tomorrow and then crimp it down. But after that, all you do is just put these put the spline end into here while you manage it, and then put the longer ball joint into its 3 spaces, and then connect the tie rod end. Yeah, my tie rod end, and put the axle nut back on, and then tighten everything, and then just drop it down. And I believe that should be it. Hopefully that's it and I'm not missing anything, but that's my journey, what I dealt with trying to replace the CV boot for 2012 Volkswagen Passat. I think this is the SE. Doesn't have a sunroof or anything. I think it's the SE or SEL or one of it. I think it all fits the same thing. I believe Beck and Arlie said it all fits the same model. Yeah, but that's pretty much all the stuff that is there to watch out. And oh, make sure you grease it up as much as you could. Like half a pack of grease goes inside here, and then the other half goes inside the boot. I think someone threw away my half, so other half that was supposed to go in the boot. So I gotta find the Beck and Arlie grease, because you can't mix grease. You can't mix different brands or different kinds of grease. So make sure you put if you're gonna use new grease in there, make sure you clean out all the grease and then add one single kind of grease. So like, don't add Lucas synthetic grease and then Beck and Arlie grease. That's supposedly it degrades the grease and it kind of degrades the lubrication. So keep an eye out for that. So that's pretty much all the stuff that I went through. This is what the work area looks like. There was a lot more tissue paper filled with grease. It's a little bit messy. I would say don't clean it as you go. Just wait till the end and then clean it as you go a little bit, but don't super clean it as you go, and wait till the end and then just super clean it, because I got tired of cleaning everything. I went through a lot of gloves. Gloves is really important too. So yeah, that's pretty much it.